I raised my glass in response. A fisher sat on the roof, whistling alone. Along came an alligator crying with a moan. "You must come down, the fish have gone," said the fisher to the gator. "Very well, I will get off, as I am a masturbator." But we're gonna do the same thing. I pull back very slightly and loop my arms around his neck. He responds with hands on my hips. This is hot as hell, I'm sorry. Like, what the fuck? Hello my loves, I'm Degenerate and welcome back to Obscura. Today, we're going to be doing Oleander's route for Chapter 2, The Depths. Now, a little bit of fork in the road. I actually already did it. I did it on the day it came out, which was Monday, okay? I did it really late at night too and everything. It was just... I lost a lot of sleep, basically. But it was so good. It was so good. I died. I got the CGs, which I'm not going to show now because I want you to be surprised. Like, I was in the 2.5-hour recording originally, so I'm just going to do it over again. I continued from the best ending in the last chapter as well, like I do with all the other ones, so that I could get the best possible one here. So I already know exactly what to do. I know exactly what happens. The thing is, there's a part where you have to do something. We're about to find it out right now when I start. And I'm gonna do something different, so at that point, that's when something different would happen. And I would be like, it would be new to me. Because I would be trying something different. Because I haven't gone back yet and done other endings and stuff. I only got the initial ending. That was the good one, I believe. At least I hope. Alrighty. Time to get to work. Every so often, I see myself from the perspective of the green newcomer to the marketplace. Someone who was consistently on guard for thieves and pickpockets. That old me would be shocked at how comfortable I travel down the streets of the marketplace now. How I hardly have to think to find my way around. It's not that the streets are named because they're not. Not officially, at least, but there are landmarks. The buildings with a mural facade, the road strung with unlit paper lanterns, a defaced statue of some market lord or other. Then it's a turn into an unmarked building. It's like Wolf's letter said. Wolf is the guy we met in the last chapter. In case you didn't know. I didn't know. I had to see him in order to re-jog my memory. I step inside, buildings that host nothing but a series of private rooms. Renting by residents and visitors alike are a surprisingly popular business here. When land is expensive and need is temporary, it makes a dedicated parlor a much more impressive show of wealth than it would be topside. I stop in front of the door and take a deep breath. A lot happened at Lord Valentine's party, but right now, the only thing that matters is impressing my patron. Focus. I knock once, as a warning that I'm coming in, and then go inside. Well, Vigil, you're right on time. I couldn't be late for you after all. Wolf chuckles. Flattery will get you everywhere. No wonder you like my boss so much. Another laugh. Would you like the chair or should I take it? He gestures to the one chair in the room at the desk. This is a subtle test. I stayed standing when I originally picked it. I'm not gonna change it because it was the right choice. I'm here to work. As the employer in this scenario, the chair ought to be yours. Good answer. See? I like to be favored right now. Wolf takes his seat, leaning back to cross his feet on the desk's surface. It's casual, but it also screams of our power imbalance. Wolf gets to put his feet up. I have to stand. Well, should we get to business? Why I'm here, after all. I know topside that merchants are mostly involved with buying and selling. Some travel to get the best prices, but you must have seen by now that Oleander is a different sort of merchant. He's very hands-on in doing things, yes. Well, what I'd like to ask is also quite hands-on. My business, performed under the auspices? Auspices? Ooh. Auspices of my Lady Lumina, and under a different name and face, of course, is to provide a place of leisure to weary travelers. It's not a typical pleasure parlor, and very exclusive besides. Part of the appeal is the rotating supply of amusements. Do you want me to get a new source of amusement, or do you want me to be the new source? Wolf outright laughs this time. Ho ho! I don't think you would satisfy the interests of my clientele. Okay. I know I shouldn't be insulted, but... No, I have some inside information on a supply of amusing tablets coming into the marketplace. Your job would just be to retrieve some of that supply. Well, I suppose it was inevitable I'd end up trading drugs eventually. The trader bringing the supply in uses a fig leaf as her symbol. And the poor mule bringing things down will absolutely have the symbol somewhere visible on them. That's the part that I failed in the original recording, and I'm going to try it again to see if I can actually pass this time. The handover will happen at a party, or perhaps bacchanalia would be a better term for it. The host of the infamous sort, the disorderly conduct, best thought of as a sex and drugs death cult. The party was very fun. It really was. They sound like fun people. I assume the bacchanalia is a form of worship? Precisely. They do not particularly mind guests coming over to their events, and the generally wild atmosphere makes it ideal for certain kinds of deals. Do they have free entry to their parties? No, they do not mind guests, but do tend to keep some level of control over who's attending. In theory, you do need to know the password to get in. The password is not a tightly kept secret, but it is not shared freely either. I suspect Oleander may know it though. This is his field of expertise. I shuffle my feet lightly just to keep them from feeling dead. So I find my way in, find the drug mule with the fig leaf, and then get some of the goods from them? Exactly. And what about the traders? I'd be pretty mad if someone skimmed off the top of my drug deal. I don't want to get revenge murdered after just one job. Then you'll be glad to hear that that's unlikely. The fig trader has suffered some devastating losses due to insubordination. Okay. Turns out having a mule clever enough to realize they could sell what they were carrying on their own, and then escape by putting on a new mask causes problems. The perils of anonymity in business. It's amazing the marketplace functions at all. A naive drug mule will probably lose some goods to theft and manipulation. They're far less likely to steal the lot and become competition. Unless you're truly greedy, there is nothing you can take that will upset the trader. Don't get greedy. Steal from a naive drug mule. Okay. Sounds morally gray. I can do this. That's what I picked. Getting in is the only real challenge. I could probably tuck my way in though. But be careful of overconfidence. Receive payment based on the weight of what you bring back. The ratio of weight to coin makes me think that trying to buy the drugs directly from the mule is going to be a fool's errand. This is expensive stuff, and I doubt Wolf will just pay me back the expense. I guess I'll be engaging in trickery to get my hands on free drugs. There's another little bit of talk with Wolf after this, but it's formalities. He's got a job for me and I've accepted it. So yeah, later we're gonna be attending a party. And we have to do that specifically. That's our main goal. So I failed it. I know. Didn't lead to my death though. I died a different way. Which is great. I love it. It's very easy to die with Kier and Oleander for some strange reason. But yeah, I did die, but not because of that job that I had to do. I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna get those drugs. I want to know what happens if I do get maybe praise. You never know. Leaving, I can't help but feel good. It's nice to have a short-term goal with known rewards I can work on. Meeting over, I walk back to the Leaping Bear. Any messages being sent to me have to go through Bruno. And I'm starting to feel peckish anyways. Back in the Leaping Bear, I feel some part of me relax. Objectively, it's not that much safer than any part of the marketplace. But familiarity is comforting. And, well, at this point, I trust Rufus to only make use of his bat if someone here misbehaves. I have no intention of doing that, so I'm safe. Welcome back. Should I be sending a snack to your room? Oh, thank you, but no. I'll have a proper meal in a little bit. I'm just planning on going to my room for a while to relax. I'm smiling because I know what the fuck is about to happen. It's like, it's just all coming back to me. I don't know. It's gonna be a surprise for you, for sure. It was a surprise for me. It was really good too. There was a lot of. Let's just get there. Let's just get there. I'm getting too excited already. I'm already excited. There's an envelope waiting for me on the floor of my room, visible the second I open the door. I suppose Bruna or another staff member slipped it there while I was out. Slipped it in is crazy. Something's wrong with me. I've been here long enough that it's probably just easier to deliver my mail that way. The envelope is made from a thick, smooth paper. This is high quality. Yeah. There's a faint scent of perfume from it. Oh, I guess he would want to talk to me. Even without the sender's name, I know exactly who this is from. No, I'm too hungry to deal with this right now. I pocket the envelope. I can't ignore it forever, but I can delay the matter a little longer. Change my mind. I'll have something to eat now. Bruno looks up at me. The bear mask is so normal to me now that I think that. Even if I saw her actual face, the bear would still be how I imagine Bruno. Right now it's soup. Thought it's alright with you? Yeah, soup sounds good. Whatever it is, it will be tasty. Bruno delivers a bowl of soup and a chewy, dense bread roll. Perfect for dipping. There's also a lovely wine that some other guests cracked open. Want a cup? Thought of drinking wine sends a bolt down my spine. I just about checked my gut reaction. No, thank you. No wine for me right now. I bite my tongue. More for the other guests, then. They'll definitely appreciate it more. I try to keep my mind on bread and soup. It's simple, but it's hot and filling. Whenever my focus wanders for a moment, my hand drifts down to the envelope again, brushing over it in case it's somehow disappeared. When my bowl is empty, I sigh. There's really no avoiding this any longer. I untuck the envelope flap and pull out the letter. Degenerate. I can't imagine that you're feeling rather apprehensive about meeting me right now. Uh-huh. Well, at least he knows it. The handwriting and prose, whatever. I don't remember seeing that word before. I don't know. The handwriting and prose are very him. It's easy to guess how he would gesture if he was saying this aloud. I understand your concerns and would like to reassure you, to the best of my ability, that I mean you no harm. If you're willing, I'll be at the Saline bathhouse tomorrow morning. I can guarantee privacy for the both of us. We will be able to talk there. Context clues, guys. Bathhouse. Come on. Like, yeah. There are certain things I'm not eager to discuss yet, but I'm certain that I will be able to answer at least a few of your questions. There's a little sketch of the area around the bathhouse, as well as a time. I cannot force you to meet with me, and I will not begrudge you if you choose not to come, but I am making an earnest plea now. I would like to speak with you. The signature at the bottom of the page is unnecessary. Every part of this screams that it's from Oleander. Perfume and everything. Guy, he knows how to, you know? Curiosity and anxiety do battle in my stomach. I want answers. But Last night my nightmare was about Lord Valentine collapsing, not on the floor, but onto me, plunging us both into the depths of a grave pit. It's not hard to interpret what my dreaming mind is afraid of. But was kind. About as kind as could be expected. He cut my cheek and sympathized with my fear, and it's obvious that this was personal for him. Curiosity is winning over anxiety in me. I look at the letter again. Ignore him, hear him out. I didn't ignore him, clearly, because I'm very excited to get to this bathhouse. But I also did want to see what would happen if we did ignore him. We'd probably just not get the picture that's coming up. Yeah, you as excited as me. But yeah, we're just gonna do it. We'll always come back in my own time. I will go back and see. It's probably just gonna skip it. I want to know why. And if his reasons are awful, I need to be in the room with him to give him a piece of my mind. He could have let me drink the wine as well if I was meant to die in that room. I can trust that he's willing to keep me alive for now. Yes. We are referring to when we had to go get it in the first place, I think. I don't know. The bathhouse is supposed to be closed, but when I knock on the door and tell them I'm here to meet Oleander, a soul attendant brings me inside. The air is heavy with perfume and thick with water vapor. You're going to be bathing today. Well, I already made the thumbnail for this video. I guess you would have already seen it. I'm so, like, done. We say no. We're not bathing today. I don't know what's gonna happen with Oleander, but at the moment, I'm determined to remain fully clothed. Yay! Yay. The only thing I leave behind is my footwear, and only because the attendant tells me they are not allowed beyond the entrance. Wearing borrowed slippers, I am brought into a private room. Yay! Flash. Another flash. Ah, yes, another flash. Sorry. I'm ready to get a lot of good panoramics here. Just wait, just wait. I should have known it would be like this. Oleander waves lazily, content to remain in the water and recline. I'm delighted you accepted my invitation. You're going to be joining me in the water today. Unfortunately not. No, I want answers, not distractions. Though you may not believe me when I say it, this is not an attempt at a distraction. Well, I'm glad you gave me permission to not believe you. What is he doing? Well, I suppose my most optimistic predictions were proven wrong, but how about this? You can easily see that I'm not a threat to you at this moment, and I would genuinely like to talk to you. So ask me anything you please, and I will do my best to answer. And are you going to answer honestly? There are things that I would prefer to keep private, if I may be so bold. But I will tell you when I would like to decline to answer. And I will in all other ways be open and truthful. Of course, I could be lying at this very moment. That's always the risk you take down here, isn't it? He doesn't have to sound so pleased with himself about it. But it's true, I believe in Oleander's promises enough to take a job with him. Believed, whoopsies, sorry, past tense. That was already a leap of faith. Fine, I'll ask questions then. Alright, when I did this, I asked... blah, 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 blah. I obviously did the first one. Then I did the second one. But after that, the being fired one left because after doing the Lord Valentine thing, I got another set of questions. And then when I came back to this page, it would only give me this one and then some other one. That wasn't the fired one because I guess he answered the question while I was asking these two. So yeah. Now that I think about it now, I was very confused before. But we're gonna do the same thing. I suppose this is a reasonable place to start the conversation. Yes, yes. I started again. I did the same thing last time. That's crazy. Well, it would be rather silly for me to be fully clothed in the bath. Is this gonna be how things go? I ask you and you give the most technically correct but useless answer possible? If you want to know something specific, then ask what you mean. Just because I know what you meant to ask doesn't mean you've asked it. I swear. Ugh. Then let me rephrase. Why are we meeting in a bathhouse while you're bathing? Ugh. Because I wanted to multitask, of course. This is an excellent bathhouse. I have a relationship with the proprietor where I can rent small rooms while the rest is closed. And I was due for a relaxing soak. And you weren't thinking at all about trying to seduce or distract me like this. You already made a pretty obvious proposition. Yes, I remember that. He brings it up later again. This has nothing to do with that, I assure you, though I understand how it may appear to be related. Because I can read. The fact that this is excellent multitasking is part of it. Okay. There's something more to it, I admit. And what would that be? It is a bit silly to confess aloud. This is a visual metaphor. Oh? Or oh? Another question. You're trying to show me that you're not hiding anything. Well, I'm not exposing everything to you at this moment. But you're trying to show me that you're so distracting, that's what it is. You're only hiding what you have to, and everything else is open for me to see. Exactly. It's a bit on the nose, isn't it? In my experience, being overly blunt with these things is wiser. Otherwise, people may miss the messages being sent. Well, don't worry this time around. You're hard to miss like this. And have I got your attention? My god. I forgot what I said. Shit. I think I said you do, because I'm trying to get like points, because this game has like a point system. So we're gonna do the same one I did. Excellent. I do work hard to make myself visually appealing. It would be so disappointing to hear it was all for naught. So all this is show? Precisely. Business as usual for you then. Don't sound so down. I want to give everyone a show, of course. But I'm rarely as invested in my audience's opinion as I am now. And forgive me the assumption. Okay, yeah, they talk weird down here. But I do think you're enjoying this, at least a little. Brother. A bit. Maybe. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I have an explanation for that. Okay. And then I went down to why he killed Lord Valentine in the first place. The simple version is that he very much had it coming. The casual wave of his fingers is extremely at odds with what we're talking about. It feels like an automatic response. Or gesture. Whoopsies. You sounded pretty emotionally involved once the poison hit. And you said that Lord Valentine hires assassins to solve his problems. This is why I like you. You were in shock, understandably, and still picked up some important clues. I don't remember any of that, but as long as our character is, you know, I can be confident. Most of the music might be copyrighted too, so I might just mute it, so. Lord Valentine is one of several lords of the market who decided years ago that we were getting too powerful, and that we ought to be cut down. He tips his head down for a moment, sorry. Nodding to the scar on his chest. The betrayal was more than just usual marketplace politics. It was personal. We barely survived. So this was revenge. A very long and hard-fought revenge, yes. Oh, vengeance, I mean, sorry. There are lords of the market who owe me a significant debt, and I intend to make them pay. This is admittedly a sensitive subject for me. But if there are questions you have, now is a good time to ask them. I'll answer how I can. Okay, then let's talk. This is where we get the second round of questions. I think we were able to ask all of these, but once I go back, we only get like 2. Which I do pick as well. I don't want to talk about this anymore. No. Murder hobby, so this is about revenge. It used me to commit murder. I'm pretty sure I did this one first. I can imagine you having some feelings on the topic. Revenge is toxic, I understand it. I understood for sure. There are things I would do anything for as well. I don't like it, but I understand. And that's all I can really ask for from you. I don't need or want your approval, only your non-interference. But it does feel nice to know you understand my feelings. I can imagine why, and I'm not immune to the ways vengeance can rot the soul. It may surprise you to hear this, that I was much different in the days after my unlikely survival. And in many ways, I am still rotten. It takes significant effort to not be consumed by vengeance, to keep the fire stoked but controlled. What do you mean rotten? Imagine a man consumed by hatred and revenge. Does he get pleasure from the indulgences of life? Does he make good conversation at parties? No, he's awful to be around, because he's obsessed with something poisonous. And so it will be for me, if I ever lose control of my desires. You've done a good job hiding it. I'm pleased to hear it. I do want to be good company, when I am not in the middle of any ghastly business. These fucking flies, I swear to fuck. It is important to me that I am able to pay back the violence that was done to us. But I'm glad to discuss this matter with you and reach an understanding. I think we understand each other better now. I agree. You used me to commit murder, yes. The poison you killed Lord Valentine with came from a wine you told me to get, without telling me it was poison. I know, but would you have completed the chore if you knew it was its true purpose? Ugh, I forgot what I said. Yes? Great. I promised to do anything to get Luna Accord, didn't I? I'm someone who keeps their word. So you did. Frankly, I didn't trust you to simply accept the task as given. Promising to do anything and then actually being confronted with something specific are very different things after all. It sounds like a failure of your imagination. So it is. I did not trust you, and it has caused a new breach in our trust. The irony. It's rather poetic. So what are you going to do to fix this? There's no going back to the original offense. It happened, and knowing what I did at the time, I would make the same choice. An apology would be insincere ass covering. But I can promise that from now on, you may refuse any task I give you if I do not tell you the reason behind it. Deal. It's such a pleasure to negotiate with you. I ought to keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure I saved the murder hobby for last, because I mentioned that we had a nightmare. Yeah, there we go. Is this a question? It's a statement of my preferences. Well, that is good to know in the future. Unfortunately, you are currently in the marketplace under the mountain. Death is everywhere. And so is shit. But I don't just drop throw in front of you, do I? You may be a jaded murderer, but I'm not. I'm failing to see what the question is, or what you want from me. I've already promised you will not be made a murder accomplice against your will. Maybe I want an acknowledgement that what happened was unfair to me. Maybe you think about Lord Valentine dying, and that makes you happy, but for me it's an actual nightmare. That is unfortunate. And if what you want is confirmation of that, I can assure you the hurt you feel is unfair and unfortunate. But if your sole desire now is to vent your spleen, I would rather you just do that. I chose not to vent. I don't want this recording to get too long and then it messes up again, so we're just gonna do it again. Don't. I don't need to vent. Then I suppose we're done here. You have my word that if I can avoid it, you will not see anyone die in front of you. But it is best if you come to terms with the fact that you may witness death at any moment here. The marketplace is not safe, you know that. The marketplace isn't safe, but you don't need to make my experience of it worse. Sorry, that one. I suppose you could call it that. It's not the first word I would use. How so? They do that again. Hobbies are typically a pleasurable pastime. Making and following the plans necessary to achieve my goals is actually incredibly stressful. From the sounds of it, this is something you've done before and will be doing again. Yes. So you're a serial killer. Huh. He glances away for a second. I never thought of it that way before. Me, a serial killer. If the shoe fits, and how does that make you feel, having a serial killer as an employer? Not my favorite thing. Fine if I'm not a target. I'm pretty sure I said that one. I can't say I'm thrilled to have a killer boss, but if you wanted me dead, you had an easy chance to kill me and didn't. Poisoning you alongside Lord Valentine would have made me much more suspicious. So there's an element of pragmatism here. There. Over there. But unless you were secretly one of the lords who wronged us years ago, I have no intention to do you harm. In fact, I feel much more inclined to keep you safe. Losing company such as yourself would be terrible. There's one question left that needs asking. So are you planning to kill again? Serial killer usually is. How does that make you feel? Uncomfortable, scared, anxious? For him as much as for myself. I don't like it. You are not obligated to like it. My only requirement of you is that you don't sell me out. Another plane. It is not worded like one, but I know a threat when I hear it. This is a secret Oleander expects me to keep. Yes, he does keep saying us and we a lot, so we're gonna ask. That would be my sister. She and I came to the marketplace together, looking to make our way in the world. She escaped the horrors that were inflicted upon us. And what's her name? Well, she would never let me give away her true name. You have to ask her for yourself. But the final name she used for herself here was Canatile? Canatile. I still don't know how to say that. Though I doubt I ever called her that. There were far too many nicknames possible. He sounds genuinely fond. She and I were frequently accused of being the same person, you know. We're not the same age, and we're not making any efforts towards looking the same. But our tastes converged so frequently that it simply happened regardless. Were you competitive? I can't imagine you being willing to share the limelight now. Bitterly so. Our competitions for attention were great, part of our success. When she escaped, I stayed here. I needed to find new ways to measure my performance. I was so used to Kana being there. You two must have been an incredible show. But if she escaped, why are you still here? Are you just here for revenge? That is how it started, yes. I could not bear to go to the surface. I would be giving those who did us harm exactly what they wanted, a thorn out of their sides. But over the years, we've been able to build a new, successful business relationship. You deal with merchants above, you handle matters below. Precisely. We do not talk as such, and I have not informed anyone else that one of my preferred contacts is, in fact, my sister. So I'm the first to know. You are. I feel a rush of pride. As long as goods continue to be exchanged, she knows that I am well, and I know that she is safe. Only you could combine communication and business like this. It's not really meant to be a compliment, but Oleander clearly takes it as one. He casually waves a hand. If you were in circumstances where you needed to do it, you would also piece it together. Maybe I would. And so, when you've done your business down here, are you planning to go back up with her? Goddamn. I'm not entirely certain. The marketplace has been my home for the bulk of my adult life, but I'm certain Kana has built herself a comfortable life there that she would share. And it is entirely possible that I may need to flee when my business is done. I suppose we'll have to decide once we've reached the moment itself. You and Canatile. I would like to say that that's how you say it. I don't know. And yourself, if you're still working for me at that point. I guess we'll see. Don't want to talk about this anymore. Honestly, this is all lousy. Maybe one of the worst conversation topics we've ever explored. I agree, this is not fun. There's a moment where it feels like Oleander is going to say something else, but then he gets very quiet. It's so strange. It knocks me off balance, too. Finally, he shifts. I suppose I have an important question to ask. You want to continue working with me? Yeah. I'm pretty sure no is probably gonna, like, end the chapter. And that's probably why we didn't get the am I getting fired choice after this. Maybe I'm being gullible or protecting what I'd do if it was me looking for revenge. But having a serial killer for an employer isn't a deal breaker for me. And you're still my best route to getting Lunar Core. Oleander chuckles. Well, I can tell you now that I am extremely relieved to hear this. Good companies are hard to find, after all. Oh, companions, whoopsies. I said the same thing last time. It's crazy. I'm extremely grateful that you came to my little feet and found me. I don't know what that said. Probably fete or something. But I'm gonna say feet. And it's a rather strong person who can witness the things that you have and continue to work with me. Well, if you have any more questions, here's your moment to ask them. Oh yeah, we do all of these, so. The first one. I met with Wolf. Excellent. I have no doubt that you've been given an interesting and engaging challenge in that case. Wolf and I work in similar realms, after all. It's finally my turn to get involved in the drug trade. I'm certain you'll be cautious in that case. And while I am your main employer, I presume at least, you are under no obligation to tell me anything more. I was not the one hired for this job, after all. No, I'll tell him. I told him because he ends up going to the same party we have to go to later. Are you going to attempt to steal this job from me? It would make a terrible impression on Wolf, so no. I don't think there's any harm in saying that I'm intercepting a drug mule at the Disorderly Conduct's Bacchanalia. What a happy coincidence. I happen to have an invitation to such an event. And are you planning on taking anyone else? Not at all. If you are available, you are welcome to be my +1 for the event. That suits me perfectly, though I would prefer if we wait until I'm clothed before we attempt to hash out anything for certain. Yeah, good idea. Tell me more about... Oh, tell him about Fractum Anima, which is our disease. How did your meeting with Elmwood go? That one's pretty quick, so we'll do that one. I've had the meeting, yes. It went poorly, so these things go sometimes. Feel the pang of embarrassment for misjudging Elmwood's potential. Yeah. I think that was... I didn't figure it out, but it's probably just the guy that asked for an appointment in the last chapter. I'm very, very... Yeah, very confident in that. I really, really hope I'm right. The disease. I take in a deep breath. Oleander's just shared some important information about himself. I want to do the same. So you know how I'm looking to get Lunar Core? I'm well aware you are an assistant with very expensive tastes, you know. This isn't just because I like pricey things, at least. I need it. For myself. Have you ever heard of Fractum Anima? I'm sorry to say that I have. Is that your condition? It is. I see his chest expand, then settle, as he takes in a deep breath. I've only heard rumors. Would you tell me the truth of the disease as you know it? There's a crack in my soul. Sometimes it causes pain or nausea or dizziness. I get fatigued. And sometimes, my body stops feeling like my own. Sometimes the parts of my soul feel like separate beings. It's... A pang of emotion closes my throat. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. I'm not confessing fault. I'm offering sympathy. What you are suffering is brutal. I have not been neglecting my promise to find Lunar Core on your behalf. But I want you to know I will now be searching because I want your pain to be eased. Thank you. I must admit, I had my suspicions. There are only a few reasons one would seek Lunar Core specifically. I'm glad you restrained yourself from making an assumption. I could never be so rude. So, now I know a little more about you. And you know a little more about me. Oleander's nod is grave. He is taking this seriously. Mood not thoroughly dampened, I scrambled to find something else to say. Now I'm done. That was everything. So yeah, we do get to ask everything. I thought it was like we only get to ask a couple, but nah. You have an interesting taste in conversation venues. It's a skill of mine. He leans back, lounging slightly more. That is all I need you for today. Tomorrow, please meet me near the Lunar Cathedral. You know the one. I know what you're talking about. We have work to do, and an old friend to meet. Do those pretending to be cryptic. Alright, I'll be there. See you tomorrow. Unless you want an audience while you get out of the pool. Not this time. Preparing for this conversation has left me feeling less alluring than usual. Sure, don't look it. Flatterer. He waves a hand to shoo me away. You can have your fill of me again tomorrow. But that's work. I'm laughing as I turn around. I know full well you're capable of combining work and pleasure. I laugh even more. Ah, so funny. Leaving the bathhouse, the still air of the caverns feels blissfully fresh. Tomorrow, one more thing to look forward to. There's a distinct ring of a clock, echoing from far away. Just in time. I stand in front of the Lunar Cathedral, glancing around. It shouldn't be hard to spot Oleander when he gets there. Here. Over there. Not like him to be late, though. Behind me I hear the imposing, massive oak doors of the cathedral open. Worship must be over. I glance around for a moment, then sigh. What's got you disappointed? I half jump. You were inside the church? Oleander chuckles. Good to see you too. You saw me yesterday. And it was good to see you then as well. It's not that hard to believe I would go into a church, is it? It doesn't seem like your style. In fairness, the actual act of worship has rather lost its appeal for me. But churches can be absolutely sumptuous. Yeah. Aesthetic experiences. This one has some beautiful oil paintings too. And the priest certainly didn't seem to mind me enjoying the art. He suddenly turns away from me. And there is our friend. He waves a hand lazily. It's Griff! Hehe. Thank the gods you actually wanted to meet in a normal place. You certainly didn't seem to mind the fact that I paid for your food the last time we met. That was the least you could do. Good to see you too, Griff. Oh hey, you're the same vigil as last time. I didn't realize being a vigil has such a high turnover rate. They don't. I think you're the first one to make an impression on Mr. Griff here. I think it's hard for anyone to make an impression with you around. Heh. Well, I assume the goods are being hauled in already? Yeah, everything is going exactly as planned. Let's get going so we can finally open the damn things. Griff turns around and starts weaving through the crowd. As we walk, Oleander explains. I have an arrangement with the town village of Mousehole, which is a rare one embedded enabled by a relationship of trust. You remember several days ago, before Lord Valentine's party, we went to a storehouse and marked several crates as waiting to be picked up? Yeah, I figured it was just a merchant thing. Are you saying you marked them for the Mousehole people to get? I did. And they should be kind enough to wait for me to get there before opening them up and starting to buy things. You're not worried about stealing? It's rather ironic, but no, I'm not worried. The thieves of Mousehole and I have a rather friendly relationship. They know I'm not much more valuable as an ally than an enemy. I am much. I don't know why I put not. Had to go back. And they give you some benefits too, I assume. Well, not everything I do for them is out of the goodness of my heart, no. We momentarily enter an empty shop. Griff ignores the keeper and goes through the back door. We walk through some cluttered, dirty alleyways until we reach a dead end filled with empty pallets. This way. Griff squeezes behind the pallets. After you. I go too, and see a gap in the wall. Griff is already sliding into the gap. There's no turns or anything. Hands on the wall, and keep going forward, you'll be fine. Just like Griff says, the passage is a tight fit, but we're all able to keep moving forward until the passage ends. We're in a much more open space. The teenager by the entrance waves. Sure, if you're back. Password first kicks, come on, you know this. But it's obviously you and Absinthe. Absinthe, yes. I go by Oleander now, actually. Cakes. Password. The teenager sighs, then steps in front of us. We've got garlic for dinner. Great, cool. Now you can go in. Cake steps inside. I can feel the annoyance rolling off of him. I'll tell Kier you were slacking, kid. It must be so frustrating for teenagers who grow up here to be unable to communicate casual disdain when no one can see them rolling their eyes. I swear. Griff mumbles. I only catch the odd swear word. Wait. Okay. I had to go back really quick to make sure I said the right thing. Oh my god. It's Kier, guys. Calm down. Calm down. We step into what feels like an important square. There are plenty of, oh my god, people milling about. And the marked crates are standing at the center, waiting to be opened. Oleander suddenly walks forward briskly. Kier, good to see you. Please feel free to start opening things up for Herusol. The large man, a beacon in the crowd, looks over at Oleander and then begins directing people in the crowd to act. Vigil, this is Kier. Kier, this is my latest vigil. Pleased to finally put a mask to the name. What have you been saying about me? Oleander only has good things to say about you, I promise. Kier scoffs. After a moment of small talk, Kier goes off elsewhere. He seems to have a leadership role here. I suppose he'd be quite busy. So Vigil, I'll ask you to stand over there. I will be on this side, and between the two of us, we will be able to assist people at a better pace. You remember the value of each crate, yes? Yep, I was listening back then. Oleander? Lolo, how can I help you? I take my place near the other end of the square. Folks are milling about, but they do seem to notice that I'm not from around here and approach me. It makes sense to assume that I'm with Oleander, I guess. People pass me rum and gent while clutching at various goods they found. I keep a tally of how much I've gotten. At the moment, everything is just ending up in my own coin purse. And it'll need to be sorted eventually. This. Kier holds out a pair of glass jars in one hand, and some coin in the other. Yep, that's the right amount, thanks. So this is the guy Oleander wanted to send his love to. You're not what I imagined, you know. That's a surprise. I thought your boss never stopped talking. Would have painted a clear picture. Maybe it's a lack of imagination on your part? Hey, I resent that. My boss has a lot to say. But he doesn't talk only about you. In fact, he's hardly said anything at all. And what did he say about me? That he likes you? And if you're who I think you are, he also considers you trustworthy. Kira laughs at that. Yeah, I should have expected that. Listen, Vigil. We're not good people down here. No one is if they're living in the market. But if he took you here, that means he trusts you not to rat us out. That means something. If you need us, genuinely need us, there's a way to call for help. The instructions he gives are extremely simple. Leave a message with the standard messenger service. Address it to the 3 Eagles, and specify a time and place to meet. That must be how Oleander is able to reach out to a hidden secret thief village. But don't think for a second that we're actually trustworthy people. And don't come here without someone to vouch for you. We don't give exceptions to our password. That is something only a trustworthy person would say. And also a very mixed message. You might want to decide if I can trust you enough to call you for help or not before making the offer next time. You sound like him. That does not sound like a compliment to me. I'll be around, but I'm done shopping. Hey guys. As soon as Kier moves out of the way, I've got someone else to help. After a while, the initial rush of people dries up. Folks still trickle in, but I'm able to go back to standing with Oleander. Or leaning against one of the crates to take some pressure off my feet in that case. Wait, what was before that? Oh, yeah. Alright. So what's your impression so far? This is a really interesting little place. It is, isn't it? I have such a soft spot for Mousehole and its people. So is there anything on your mind at all? I get the impression this place is a secret. Why is it called Mousehole? We get to ask both these questions anyway, but this one's the stupidest one. You're correct. I shouldn't be surprised. A secret community in the underground marketplace? It makes sense. I guess they have some really good reasons to hide. The people here arrived because they were rejected even by the marketplace. In some way. Whether through personal grudge or some strand of surface discrimination. That would be a good reason to hide, and it makes sense why they'd be thieves then. Why do you trust them? Are they honorable thieves? Oh, I forgot what I said. I think I did this one. Yeah. It's one part history, another greater part the promise of mutual destruction. A well-placed rumor would be enough to destroy my reputation, which is my most valuable asset, and telling the right people about Mousehole would ensure its rapid destruction. Do you trust each other to keep your knives in your belts, but not enough to stop having the knives? Yes, that's an amped metaphor. As I said before, our relationship now is mutually beneficial, which helps a great deal, but knowing that there is no way to dismantle it without harming us both is another layer of protection. Why is it called Mousehole? Seems rather self-deprecating to me. I would assume that's the point, but I don't have any actual knowledge of why the people of this place call it Mousehole. How long have you known these people? Years. My life has not lent itself well to stable relationships, but this community is one I have been able to rely on. They saw me at my most rotten, when I was an intolerable person who could only harm others, and they found it in them to forgive me. There are things I cannot take back, of course, relationships that were irreparably harmed, but even Kier saw fit to let me back into his life in one fashion. You don't know Halo yet, but I can assure you that she would not accept a stranger calling her Lolo. Impressive. I guess I'll just have to hope that one day I achieve the same. Now, Lolo is my cute nickname. You'll have to find your own. Well, that's not fair. Hey sounds much worse than Lolo. You've already got the good nickname. I do. So smug. I'll just be forced to find a nickname rooted in an inside joke after a long friendship, I guess. That'll show you. I'm looking forward to seeing it. So do I. Ah, Lave. Hello, I'm the current vigil. Pleased to meet you. Lavernia. Oh, it's Lavernia. I was saying like Laverina or something. I'm dumb. She offers a hand and we shake briefly. Oleander, I have a request. You remember the kettle I wanted a few months back? I remember it very well. I want a steamer in the same style. Ah, well, I will see if there is a counterpart to be had with that kettle. Good, I'll keep my ears open for news. He reaches out to Oleander, takes her hand, then they both take their other hands to pat each other's upper arms. Oleander pulls in Lave a little closer, in a not quite hug. I don't know what it is about the gesture exactly, but suddenly I feel so distant. Here are people Oleander has known and trusted for years. It makes the time we've spent together feel so small. There's a little pit of envy burning in my stomach. I want this, but it's out of reach. Lave goes to Halo after that. Well, any more questions for me? Yup. What's your history with Kier? You've been coy about it, but I'd like to know the actual answer. I suppose that's fair. I've talked around it for a while now. I should assure you now that you have no reason to be concerned. Why would I be concerned? I'm certain you've picked up on some implications I've made. The simplest explanation is that Kier is the reason I'm alive today. Whose car is that? He, in his position as the leader of Mousehole, gave me shelter in a time of great need. No matter what else happens in my life and with him, I will always have gratitude to him for that. Yeah. But that's not all. No, it isn't at all. He's not saying more, but he's also not diverting this conversation. He's letting me decide how much to ask. Were you lovers? Only if you follow the simplest possible definition of being sexual partners. He's an attractive man who, underneath that prickly exterior, is attentive to those he cares for, and willing to go the extra mile for them. In my position at the time, the jokes make themselves, I don't have to say anything. That was rather irresistible. He seems fine with this topic. If I can pry, were you romantically together? Question mark. In that case, you may pry. In this case, sorry. In this case, you may pry. And the answer is no. I was a rather bad partner to Kier in the short time we were together. I thought that shit was funny as hell when I first read it. I was like, yeah. I still think this shit is funny. I can't. The sex was very good, of course. Yeah. We have something to look forward to. We have something to look forward to in the future. In the future chapter for Kier. But like I told you, I was thoroughly rotten. Sorry. I was a poisonous person to be around, and intentionally so. As you might imagine, we did not last very long. I was terrible, and Kier's own nature only made me act in more terrible ways. It's hard to imagine, but I'll take your word for it. I've heard enough. Do you regret what happened? Obviously, you've changed since then. I'm lucky enough to have rebuilt a good relationship with Malsol, so there are no regrets for me to hold on to. Obviously, Kier is never going to let me in his bed again, but he was generous enough to allow me to maintain a friendship with him. That's all I can really ask. Would you? Would I what? Have sex with Kier again? If the opportunity somehow materialized? Yeah. It's not my habit to consider things that are impossible. But since you asked, I suppose that would depend on the opinions of certain other parties. Oh. This guy, he's so, like, so refreshing. I don't know. Imagining impossible scenarios has its fun, but I'm far more interested in other prospects, ones that could be reality. It's like the dancing. We're dancing around the topic here. I love it. It's so fun. Does that answer your question? Yes, it does. My mind whirls. I knew he was serious about his interest in me. But I didn't think that meant he was already considering my opinions in his private life. Yeah. Because I got the best ending in the last chapter, so it's to be expected, of course. I initially mentioned when I first, like, played this that I was very down for a group session. But he seems to think it's very impossible to be with Kier in any way again, so that's off the table, I guess. Because he still thinks of it as like a very, was it like, just like a fantasy, sort of. Something that's just, like, out of reach. You can only think of it in your head. So, it's fine, it's fine. It's great, actually. Yeah, and then some. I managed to sound completely normal as I say it. Mission accomplished. Yeah. From a distance, Kier looks at us, as far as I can tell, and crosses his arms. Does he know we're talking about him? Almost certainly. He waves. Kier turns away. After a moment, we laugh quietly together. Nothing on my mind now. Very well. If you could go help that poor soul half fallen in the crate, I will begin the process of getting things packed up. I love these conversations, this question and answer thing we're doing. It's very fun. Sorry. I go over to help some poor person wearing a sling and left dangling in the crate. It's mostly empty, as they all are. Oleander goes from crate to crate, moving everything that wasn't taken into a single box. The other boxes are taken by Kier and some others. When I pass Oleander, he explains. They did me the service of carrying everything here, and they are happy to take payment this way. One crate is left, only filled halfway with assorted goods. Things Oleander thought to bring, but no one wanted, mostly. I would call today a success, Vigil. What do you say? Today's been a good learning experience. I should warn you, while I am thinking of it, that the people of Mousehole are very protective of their home. Even I, friend though I may be to them, am not invited to enter without an escort. Hence Griff. Hence Griff. Are you talking about me? We are. Gross. Excuse me? Pardon, Griff. Not like that. God scars, you freaked me out there for a second. Bro. This guy. Very active in the community, I guess. This one right here. Mr. Oleander. I guess between Oleander and Griff. Oh, glance. Whoopsies. Another in-joke, probably. Anyways, folks are going to the pub for a drink. You can come. Excellent. Do you have any objections? No. It does feel a bit like a ploy to get some money back, though. Griff throws his head back in a laugh. Because it is. Anyways, let's go get smashed. The gang. At the pub, Griff calls for drinks to the woman working the tables and sits us down. Has this place been updated recently? Yup, Dee wanted to change up some stuff. After a few minutes, Kiera and Lave approach. It's... Yo! Remember that heist, guys? So fun. Totally didn't fail it. I very much won. As drinks arrive, so does Halo, and that seems to complete the crew of the table. There's some talk, but most of it seems to be local chatter. Halo finally got something she was waiting for. Kiera's looking forward to repairing something at home, the like. Then Halo brings out a battered deck of cards. For some reason, that starts Griff off whining. Come on, you can't be serious. You don't have to play, but I know someone who will. Naturally, and this time maybe I'll finally beat you. Oleander leans into me and murmurs. Though she has a sweet and shy temperament on first impression, Halo is a rather tricky opponent in a game of cards. Griff is not a tricky opponent and rather tired of losing. I think, but it's all in good fun. Stakes are always low. If you want to sit out, just say the word. There will be no hard feelings. Halo begins to deal out cards, pausing before dealing to me. We're gonna play. Sure, deal me in. The game we end up playing is a variant of one from my youth. It takes me just enough time to adjust that I am absolutely thrashed in the first round. After that, I get back into the rhythm of things. Halo does well, just like Oleander said, but she's not unbeatable. Even I take a round and manage to cushion my losses slightly. There, now I can leave without feeling completely embarrassed. Nice job. It was mostly luck. I shrug. Maybe, but knowing when and how to press your luck is a skill of its own. Another round. Lave takes the deck and shuffles it, then deals another hand. As the game continues, things relax more and more. Play progresses, but in the gaps of conversation. Most of it about things I know little about. I shouldn't complain. Most of the people at the table are from Mousehole, and Oleander has an intimate history with the place. It's a reasonable topic of discussion. But I can feel the distance between me and the others grow wider the longer I'm left out of the discussion. Shit. How did I get so petty? That's the moment Oleander turns to face me, naturally speaking softly. Something the matter? It's hard to contribute to this conversation. I'm just so left out of, you know? The scene. So yeah, that's what I picked. He clicks his tongue. I get the impression that he's frustrated with himself. Forgive me, Vigil. I got much too caught up in myself for the last while. I have an idea you might enjoy, though. He drops his hand on the table just loud enough to get everyone's attention. Griff, I just remembered. There was a little tune you'd composed last time I was here that ended with a delightful little rhyme. Huh? Oh, you mean that one? You want to hear it again? This is so ridiculous. If Griff is a bit incredulous, Oleander doesn't let it ruffle him. I would. Whoops. Use the thing. Griff shrugs, then raises his glass. He sings loud enough for all of us to hear. I'm not singing. The lady came out from the bath, dressed in a pretty smock. Her man asked to be clean, too, so she washed his massive... Yeah. Then he tips back the drink, the rest of the table toasts, so we're all drinking to the dumb little song. One day you'll get a new rhyme, maybe. I will, once I find a good rhyme for...
Yeah.
You know, not all your rhymes need to be about f***ing. That's why I like rhyming. Have you got something better, Lave? Of course I do. Then it's her turn to raise her glass, singing very badly. Who knows what tomorrow brings, death or chains and locks. But put gold in a chest and I'll steal that fucking box. Another toast. That sucked. Honestly, given his taste in rhymes, that might be a compliment. Everyone gets to turn around the table after that, sharing their favorites. Halo barely manages to sting out a rhyme about booze, which is appropriate to the setting. Kier's song is about a man who falls down a cavern pit while sloshed, while Oleander's tune is a vulgar rhyme about a string of pearls. Yeah, just letting that soak in, I guess. Pun intended. Well, Vigil, have you got one? I do. I'm pretty sure. No, yeah, I'm very sure. I raised my glass in response. A fisher sat on the roof, whistling alone. Along came an alligator crying with a moan. You must come down, the fish have gone, said the fisher to the gator. Very well, I will get off, as I am a masturbator. I drink. There's a smattering of laughter. The joke is much sillier than Griff's, but does match the mood of the other's more salacious themes. Rhymes. Oleander leans in and speaks Soto... Vasi? I don't even know. What brought you to choose that song? It's a favorite of mine. I thought the audience would enjoy it. The second one, I believe, yeah. Well, very well done. Yes, praise. After that, the rowdiness settles down a bit, but a pleasant conversation goes on. I'm even a little disappointed when Oleander says it's time to leave, though I'm beginning to feel tired from the work of today. While Oleander pays for our drinks, with the expectation that I will pay him back for mine, of course, I bid the rest of the table a quick farewell. Thank you for this. I know I'm a stranger, but I had a good time with you. Stick with your boss, and you won't be a stranger for too long. I'm planning to work for him for a while, so I'll look forward to seeing you again. Kiara quietly approaches, putting a hand on my shoulder. Hey Vigil, I meant what I said. If you need help, you know what to do. Thanks. Hopefully I won't need it. That's what we all hope. And Kier? When I'm working, I'm Vigil, but off the clock you can call me Degenerate. It's been good to meet you. Well, I'm ready to go. Are you, Vigil? Yeah, let's go before we get too drunk and get stuck in the passageway. I wave to the table as we go. Bye, guys. It was nice seeing you all again. It was amazing, in fact. We leave Mouse Hall through the same narrow passageway we came in from. Well, are we done for the day? I have business to attend to, but nothing that involves you at this moment. When we meet next, at the regular time, we can discuss the Disorderly Conduct's little celebration. Good. I want to prepare for it as much as possible. You'll be happy to hear that it isn't a particularly formal event, in need of serious preparation. You would not need to visit the Silk Web for a new outfit, for example. If it's as much of a ruckus as everyone's been suggesting, getting a nice outfit from the Silk Web is going to be a waste. Right you are. At a regular time, then. See you then. Yay. At this point in my employment, Oleander and I have a schedule of regular meetups outside the jobs I'm called in to help with. Since I'm not the typical apprentice at Oleander's side at all times, the regular meetings have enabled me to see more of his ordinary day-to-day work of bookkeeping and maintaining correspondences. And keeps it from ever getting too boring. Lovely to see you today. You're in a good mood. I've learned recently that certain subjects of my ire will be attending the disorderly conducts party. Oh. Rest assured that I have zero intentions in involving you this time. That is reassuring. The password to the event is I am the fruit of the Liberalia. Yeah. Which is a different sort of ruckus event they have been known to throw. Though as long as we are both attending, you might as well come with me. Yes. That password makes it sound like I'll be declaring myself part of the cult. It's a declaration of allegiance more than a membership. If it helps. You're not pledging to die, only that you will not meddle in their affairs. Well, if that's all they want, I think I can handle it. So I don't need a fancy outfit, given this isn't that kind of party. I did have that cloak Oleander gave me cleaned, but I still am not eager to wear it. Is there anything I do need? Beyond a willingness to party, there's nothing required of you. I would suggest taking opportunities to prepare in whatever you may prefer. And in whatever way you prefer. I'm certain you have several possible things you could be doing. I'm also a very busy person. Always in high demand. I can definitely find something to fill the time, yeah. That's good. You take care of yourself then. I have things to do, but there is nothing in particular I need from you. So you don't have a list of chores for me to do this time? I do not. I did give you the option to reject any requests until I explained myself after all. So you're not just giving me things to do to keep them a secret? That is the long and short of it, yes. I'm happy to not be running chores for you this time, then. And no doubt you will fill this free time with chores of your own. There's no escape from chores, after all. I roll my eyes, tilting my head to try and signal I'm doing it. But chores aside, there's a feeling bubbly in my guts as Bacchanalia gets closer. I feel... yeah, I said excited last time. I'm going to the Bacchanalia as a job. Sure. But it's also a chance to experience the kind of party only a pleasure-fueled death cult in the marketplace could throw. I'm eager to succeed and get to experience more of what this world has to offer. You seem to be ready, aren't you? I can hear him smiling. It's going to be fun. Yeah. It's not every day you get to experience something like this, and with such good company, too. The company does make all the difference in matters like these. You cannot imagine how much I want to take to the dance floor with a partner like you. You were a good dance partner, too. Though I can't imagine the dancing being the same this time. Not remotely, but it is extremely enjoyable. Unfortunately, before any partying, I have some bookkeeping to handle, and I wanted, well, no. Wanted is the wrong word. Ought to show you. Oleander lays out a few papers, showing me sums of math. The underground has no government, of course, but working safely does require something like a tax to avoid harassment from the market's masters. At least for a merchant as successful as him, someone like me will likely escape notice for quite some time. After a not terribly exciting few hours, Oleander dismisses me. We both have things to do. The timing of everything is actually quite awkward. The disorderly conduct either believe in having bacchanalia immediately after eating breakfast, or they live like they live on a different schedule than me. I have some time to prepare, but then I must get some sleep before going to the party right after breakfast. What to do then? Okay. In this part, we kind of just go shopping and stuff. And do stuff for our own or whatever. So this part, I might skip just to get to like the really good part. So that's exactly what's gonna happen. But I will say what I'm gonna do right now. Like, you're gonna see me doing it. I'm not gonna just skip it. What I first did was I went to the auction house, I believe. Oh, no, I'm lying. I went to the shopping street. And in this part, you get to buy perfume or whatever from this, you know, perfume guy. And I decided to go for the blackberry one. And then after that, we also look at like this, because it's important, like a glass filled with like gas or whatever. And they're like, oh, it's this like special gas. And then I think his dad is like, it's a sex gas or whatever. It's like an aphrodisiac. But it's basically like a smoke bomb. But when you inhale it, you feel tingly, I guess. And then I think that's the only thing I did, actually. I didn't do anything else. I went to the Leaping Bear after that. So yeah. Now we are going to go to the party. Right now. We also have a conversation with Rufus. Because we're chilling at the Leaping Bear, and he talks to us for a little while. It was nice. But I'm trying to... I've really already done this, and I know it's annoying that I even had to skip some parts, but yeah. But here we are at the party. This is the part that's like really good, and I would never skip this. So let us begin. Again. I meet Oleander near the Disorderly Conduct Celebration grounds. In this case, a building that almost certainly was not built for partying. It's not the same party that we went to, though. Like, well, not the same sort of party as the one we went to with Francisco. It's way more intense. So, yeah. It's also more intense than the last party we went to with Oleander in the first chapter. It's just more intimate, basically. So it's gonna be great. You're gonna love it, honestly. But the people of the marketplace do seem to value creative reuses of everything. Or reuse, not plural. It's not a surprise to see it repurposed. Ah, wonderful to see you, of course. So, we're about to attend a party run by a death cult. Is there anything I need to know? I hardly need to tell you caution and moderation should be exercised, same as before. Don't indulge in alcohol beyond your limits. Not sure if I'll indulge at all. Yeah, but we indulge alright. Given the level of adulteration going on, that may be wise. If you do elect to indulge in any of the intoxicants on offer, and I should be clear, you would be welcome to do so, I'd appreciate it if you had someone sober to keep an eye on you. There's gonna be 0 people. Oh. I plan on maintaining my full facility, so consider me an option. I wasn't planning on getting smashed, so hopefully I won't need any babysitting. I should warn you now that while it is unlikely you will be forced to do anything against your will, there are some pushy individuals. And the amount of smoke in the air may make your self-control slightly slippery. Plans change easily down here, and as you've learned. Ensure you're prepared for your plans to change. You're making a party full of sex and drugs run by a death cult sound kind of worrying. I'm breaking my own rule, aren't I? No downers allowed. You really do need to get that on a sign. Oleander chuckles and ushers me towards the building. At the door, he leans in and whispers to the individual, fully masked yet wearing nothing on their body except a wrap around their hips, large amounts of vivid paint. The painted watch person lets Oleander in, and then it's my turn. I'm the fruit of the Liberalia. Yeah, Liberalia. It could be Liberalia. No, Liberalia. Yep. I walk by them, and after a turn, I find myself in a central room. I mean, it's red. What else is gonna happen here? The wave of smoke and mist hits and my head spins. There's music flooding every corner of the room, reverberating on itself like waves. And the bodies, shawled or painted, are or truce or bear, covered in fur or silk or leather or smoke. For every person dressed in a way that would seem merely daring on the surface. There are 10 embodying the spirit of this bacchanalia. Yep, this is about what I expected. I was expecting. Sorry. I already feel my thoughts getting looser, more scattered. The events of the thick air, no doubt. Well then, I am here for my own task that cannot commence for a while. I will be around and enjoying myself. And I'll get to work. I will keep an eye out for you, just in case. I would appreciate it if you did the same for me when you're able. Alright, I'll be sure to babysit you. You make it sound like such a trial. No offense, sir, but you are a whole lot to deal with. And that is exactly what I intend, my dear Vigil. Goodbye. I start walking away from Oleander, waving for a moment. Then I breathe out sharply, as if to get rid of the thought scattering fog in my lungs. It's time to work. I do slow rounds of the room, not quite dancing, but certainly letting the rhythm carry me. Standing out of the crowd probably wouldn't serve me well in this moment. The whole celebration is happening in a building dark enough that I cannot see the opposite wall. Despite the colored flames overhead, whenever the view might clear up, there is a new puff of smoke from somewhere. There's a ramshackle, haphazard look to everything, which I suppose isn't too surprising. Even the chandeliers don't quite match. They look as though they came from several different rooms in Satine. The floor is bare rock, of course, rendered smooth only by the endless pairs of shoes that have worn it down. Even now it's uneven enough that I see plenty of revelers stumble and fall. One hits the floor, convulses violently, then goes limp. The other revelers bump and nudge the body as they continue to dance. And then I see something. For a moment, the crowds part, and I see a silvery fig leaf hanging on a necklace. I totally got that. That's the symbol. This is our lovely lady of the evening. We have to get some drugs off of her. This is the part I failed. But I will be succeeding this time. Weaving through the crowd, I see a young woman swaying. Maybe it's the music. Maybe she's unsteady. But she has a bottle in her hand, though. It doesn't look full. I only get one shot at this. How do I approach her?
A few moments later.
The woman looks away, then she turns and bolts into the dance floor. Shit.
A few moments later.
Bro. In fact, Bubba should fuck off. Excuse me. If you understand what's good for you. I glance at Honey. She looks helpless. I look back at the client. Okay, so helping her didn't work. I tried seducing her. At some point, we kiss her. That's the thing. Let's just say she's attractive for right now so that we can do it. That's what I picked. And then I said my name was Babe when I first played it, but I like Bubba right now. Bubba. Yeah. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I picked her waist. I picked all the things that were like, you know? Maybe there's something I have to change in the last one. Let's say I'm having fun working too. There's nothing like getting to have fun at your job, huh? Meeting you is part of the job. So let's have even more fun. Let's do this one. I love it when my job is meeting someone as fun as you. Meeting me is your job? Yeah, you can probably guess why. He pauses for a second. Do you think work can wait a little bit? If I play along, she's bound to like me more. For you, sure. Let's have some fun first. Bubba, let's dance. Okay, we dance. I did kiss her last time, but the interaction before was different, so we're gonna do that. Okay. This is new. I have to leave, but she reaches into a pouch and hands me a paper packet. Bye, Bubba. Let's go! I did it! So it was in the seduce her one. That's crazy. Goodbye, honey. Hope sits bright and sharp in my chest. I peel open the packet. Inside are dozens of tablets. Amazing. Job done. Thank you. You're welcome. Oh my god, it was all me. It was all me. Alright, so we did it. Perfect. We know exactly how to do it now. We seduce her, keep seducing her, and then we have to kiss her, so... I bet if I didn't pick kiss, she would not have given it to me. Like, that was probably the determining factor there. My work for today is done. I suppose now I can just enjoy what the Bacchanalia has to offer. I start looking around for Oleander. Might as well catch up with him and make sure nothing dramatic has happened in the meantime. Hopefully he's resisted the urge for now. Yes. Oh my god, I didn't. I'm gonna fix this save here when he... Just later. We'll get there. I take a short walk around the room, but as I pass one group, they call out to me. Stranger, come and rest your feet a while. Okay, so they call me anyway. I thought we only went to them because we failed. But they do it anyway. Yeah. They've got a collection of seating arranged in a circle and they're all lounging. Completely relaxed despite the bubbling cauldron of a dance floor so close to them. I do want a break. Just for a minute, I'm looking for someone. If you're looking for someone and they're looking for you, one of you had to stay put. For a few minutes then. I take a seat and the group seems welcoming enough. Yeah. The one to my left taps my shoulder, then points to the rest of the group, while with a smoldering tab. That's wisdom, and there's perception. And those two are insight and savvy. Yeah. But they don't talk much, and I'm foresight. There's a bit of a theme here. Call me Vigil. Not exactly on theme, sorry. Huh? All of you have names? What about intelligence? Oh, I get it. He doesn't get it. The others chuckle. Foresight takes a drag of something, sweetgrass, based on the smell. Then Foresight passes the tab to Wisdom. We were just here talking about the marketplace. You been here long? A little while. What kind of things were you talking about? The market ghosts are stealing people again. I heard it from a friend. Market ghosts? Well, obviously the market is haunted, right? She's right, Vigil. Market's haunted. Ghosts steal people. I suppose folks down here have their own beliefs about ghosts. I always wonder what they do with the people, though. They're hungry. I look out. What? I look out into the crowd. No sign of Oleander. The hell? Wisdom passes the tablet off to perception. But I heard something even better than ghosts, Vigil. Lord Valentine is dead, and the serial killer did it. My heart pounds harder. A serial killer? That's just like a normal killer, but for lots of people, right? No, you only get to be you only get to be serial if it's a lot of people and there's something in common. Then who else gets killed? The irate priest, some lord or other. I don't know, man. I'm just saying what people are saying. Perception hands off the tab, either savvy or insight. The one sitting closer to me reaches over their partner and takes the tab. I recently heard a good story, too. Oh, what's that? I think Foresight is glad to have the distraction. I'd normally cringe to the topic shift this abrupt, but I'm glad to have an ally in this. I'm staying at the rest house called the Leaping Bear, and just heard the story of how the owner, Bruna, won the whole thing in a card game. That's actually true, it's not a lie. That's how we find out how Bruna becomes the owner. It was through a card game. Someone bet the whole fucking inn, like an idiot. No shit, wow. That must have been an amazing table. I saw something like that once. I was at a big table and someone bet their outfit. An outfit isn't as impressive as a whole inn. The group seems content with the new subject of conversation, which is a relief. There's a tab on my right shoulder. Savvy or Insight hands me the tab that has been going around. Besides them, their companion is eerily still. Take a drag or pass it to Foresight. I tried passing it to Foresight. Nigga did not take it. He was like, oh, it's yours. But whatever. I'm gonna take a drag since we end up taking it anyway. The first thing I notice is a sharp acidic taste. See, the only difference is the interaction before we actually do it. That's why the skip button's still there. Yeah. No, yeah, acidic taste that is not usually of sweetgrass. Not usual of sweetgrass. Smoke is thicker too and more pungent. I can taste the familiar earthy sweetness at the back of my throat, but it's only a small part of it. I cough out what I just breathed in, but it's so much thicker than I'm used to. This... I wheeze. That's when it starts. What is this? Not sure, I think Insight made it. Bro. I look over at Insight and Savvy. Savvy? Yeah. I'm hit with the sudden terrified thought that the unmoving one is already dead. What was that? Neither of them say a word, only one of them shrugs. My heart is pounding hard. Sweetgrass is a domesticated drug. Every teenager where I'm from knows how it grows and how it affects you. Whatever I just inhaled, it was not domesticated. Not something made tame and familiar. Relax. Demand to know the contents. I'm pretty sure I relaxed. So, we're not even gonna bother doing the whole, like, freaking out thing. It's not gonna be healthy in this sense. So just relax. Against my better judgment, I relax my muscles. None of the idiots in this group are going to have a useful answer to my questions. That's also true. The best thing I can do is avoid stressing myself out further. Slowly, I lean forward until I'm bent over my legs, elbows resting on my knees. For a moment, everything feels steady. Then I feel myself tip forward even further until I start falling down past the floor. I reach one hand down and grip the seat below me. I'm not falling, but I'm dizzy and tumbling all the same. Something grips at my left hand. Ah, yes, this part was so cool. I love this so much. Yes. I love when they do this. It's super cool. We're gonna hold on though. With all the strength I can muster, I hold on tight to whatever is holding me. Eventually, I'm able to loosen my grip, but only when I know that I'm truly moored to the world. The music thumps through my body, seizing hold of my heart and ensuring it pounds in time with the beat. My stomach turns. No, don't throw up again. Last time I only barely avoided puking inside my mask. I don't think I have enough coordination to do it the second time. Something close around my ankle, something cold. Degenerate, look here. Gonna do it again. Ignore it or look. Ooh. We're gonna look. Sorry, it's really cool. Dread fills me. I'm not in danger. The words come out scratchy and weak. My brain magma hot over my tongue. Steam fills the inside of my mask. I'm at a party. I forgot it does it here too. My gosh. I'm at a party by the disorderly conduct. I am with people. I open my eyes. A hand molted blue and purple is closed around my left ankle. The skin's been pulled back at the fingers, turning ordinary fingernails into claws. The hand is bloated. The rest of the finger is covered in a dark fabric, embossed with a shimmering pattern. No. I try to pull away, but the hand stays firmly clamped there. And instead I drag the covered corpse towards me. Degenerate! The voice is a death rattle, cold and sickening, and tight in my chest and throat. Who are we now that the cracks are forming? We are not the same. Another hand closes around my leg. The covered corpse pulls itself closer. I close my eyes again. Who are we? Repeated. I cover my ears, but the voice in my bones, shuddering my vocal cords and eating my breath as it comes from my mouth. I feel something split and splinter. My breastbone snapping into two. My right hand goes numb, and then the arm and the shoulder, and my ribs, and my right side no longer mine. Goddamn. My right eye snaps open. I can see the party, the others talking while I'm cleft in two. I hold my left eye, still under my command, tightly closed. Cover your mouth, call for help. Ooh, call for help. I didn't pick that one last time. Please, help. I can barely croak it out. But the thing that has my voice, doesn't stop me from talking. There's warmth and pressure on either side of me now. The good kind of pressure of a person touching another person. I heave for breath as a spine-rattling tremor rocks my entire body. For a second, my vision goes completely dark. I try to pull up my leg, but the corpse holds tight, its cold claws biting and piercing my skin. I try to lean down again, to return to the peace of blindness of my own body heat swaddling me. Instead, my body only half obeys. I twist until my vertebrae pop, half leaning down and half arching back. My throat is in no condition to scream, but I still try. The salt in my cheek itches terribly. Through my open eye, I see a flash of green and gold, a white mask like a ghost's face. Oleander! Oh my gosh. He must see me too, since he does a double take. My right half goes limp. Suddenly, I can bend myself over my knees again. He saw me. He saw me. He saw me. My lungs feel small and tight in my chest, hard lumps of bones where flesh should be. That's how Lord Valentine died. Oleander saw me. He knows I'm here. Oh. Yeah. That part, the mouse just moves by itself. Which I love, by the way. It's super cool! I've been poisoned. It only makes sense. I'm going to die like Lord Valentine unless I can get it out of my system. I wrench my mask up and shove my hand into my mouth. I need to gag. I need it out. It's already in my blood, but maybe it isn't too late. I gag, but nothing happens. Nothing comes from me. Whatever poison is in me, I've already absorbed it. The claws bite harder. There must be blood oozing down my leg now. I smell the blood, feel it filling my ossified lungs. Yes. I'm going to drown. I want to go home. But the image that comes to mind isn't home, it's a leaping bear. My little room, the old mask from Satine, Bruna and Rufus's bat stained with blood. Degenerate, here you will be safe. The memory surrounds me, a warm bath and a hot meal in my belly, and knowing that I'm safe. I start crying. I want to go home. Give it a few minutes. Let everything leave your system first. He's here. The words are surprisingly calm from a man who introduced himself with no downers allowed. I feel someone settle in next to me. You're alright. The drug you've taken only has a temporary effect. Trust me, I know. I take stock of my body. I don't feel great, to be honest, but that feeling is already beginning to fade. Not feeling tip-top, to be honest. Will that wear off in a bit? Depends on what you've been up to, I suppose. Sometimes a good sleep is necessary first. Sometimes you just need to take a moment and collect yourself. Water never hurts. He sounds like he's reading from a book. Not insincere, but like someone else wrote the words for him to say. Can you open your eyes? How do you feel? Not great, boss. Be more descriptive. Are you in pain? Or does it hurt? My thoughts are slow and heavy, as though I just woke up. There's a lingering sense of unease in me. There's a rushing sound in my ears. But did I have a nightmare? I remember feeling unwell. I remember seeing Oleander in the crowd, but not what had me so disturbed in the moment. I feel heavy, like I came out of a dream. Body feels a little sore and stiff. Was I sleeping on the floor? Not to my knowledge, no. You were having a very bad experience with the hallucinogen. But you mostly stayed seated there. He still sounds like he's reciting rather than speaking. But his words do make sense. Maybe I touch you? Oh no, maybe I touch you. May I touch you? Just an arm around the shoulder. Yeah, thanks. I feel his arm around me. He's stiff. But the warmth of another person is enough to ease the heaviness in my mind. I think it's wearing off. That sounds about right. These sorts of effects don't typically last long. If you only take it once and stop. I open my eyes. The effects of it, whatever it is, or it was, are evaporating. The unease and heaviness of my thoughts. If it weren't for my body still feeling a little off, and the gap in my memory, I wouldn't have known I was just in a nightmare. So this is something you have experience with. I can't say I'm surprised. What can I say? I enjoy new things. And it appears to have paid off. My minder talked me down from a nightmare of my own when I was in your place. It gave me a usual script for this moment. Oh, useful script, sorry. I owe your minder a thank you then. I'd pass it along if I ever intended to go back there. And maybe you'd know, does a gap in memories also happen with the drug? A gap in memories? Do you think you're missing some time? Almost all of it. I know I was having a bad time, but I don't know why. I've never heard of that before. Either your companions here are lying about the drugs you're using, which would be odd to do here of all places, or you have a unique sensitivity to the stuff. Maybe it's my condition. Yes, I suppose a drug that affects your mind and sense of self might interact with you in particular, yeah. Or particular ways, whoopsies. The arm around me squeezes a little more firmly. Now, I know I may have given you the impression that I'm only interested in having a good time. I think that's a fair description of you. A reputation I've worked hard to earn, certainly. But I want you to know that if you need it, I can be a listening ear for you. I'm not good for much else, but even I can sit and be quiet. Thanks. Not now, but maybe later. Here, drink this. I feel a cup being placed into my hands. Oh, no you don't. I just got into trouble by taking an unknown substance. Yeah. Fair enough, but in this case, it's just water. You can trust me on this. Even if it's him, if it feels risky drinking something, just hand it to me. Well, I'm already down a Genti. Yeah, whatever that is. Might as well go down a roomie too. It takes a minute before I attempt it, my throat feeling stiff and dry, but I do manage to drink the water and it helps. Somehow, I'm already feeling better. Not poisoned, perfect. It comes out before I can rethink it, but Oleander takes the jest in stride. You know perfectly well that I like you far too much to poison you. So, do you still want to go home? At worst, I feel a little dazed. Already, I feel like I've mostly recovered from that trip. If you're planning on leaving, I'll definitely go with you. Unfortunately, I still have something I need to do. I'll be here a little longer. If you don't mind my company, I'm alright to stick with you for a while. You know full well that I do not mind your company, and am in fact quite interested in keeping you around. You're right, I do know that, but still, there's a place and time for even that kind of desire. And is a celebration hosted by a cult who longs to die of pleasure, not the place and time for such a desire. He has me there. How do you feel about going dancing? After all, you were such an enjoyable partner last time. So is this going to be like the party last time? Proper dancing? If that's what you really want, I'll play along, but you can see what the crowd is doing. He gestures lazily. The crowd sways and bounces and churns with the rhythm. But there's no grace in this kind of dancing, only feeling. I think they have the right idea for this kind of music. I would agree. Together we step to the edge of the crowd. Even our steps fall into time with beat, as easy and effortless as dreaming. Oleander takes to the smoke-filled dance floor, like he's always been here. He moves like a smooth ease that would be odd for the music. I said like, it says with. Whoopsies, sorry. If it wasn't so eye-catching. I know he's a man who is always aware of his own appearance, but now he's truly put that to his advantage. With each move, he seems to ensure that his coat will frame his body in the most flattering way. The gold he wears sparkles as it catches the light. Like what you see? Question mark. I can barely hear him, but it's easy to know that I'm being asked. I draw a little closer. Do you want the truth or flattery? Dealer's choice, and don't tell me what you've chosen. I really like what I see. He laughs. I'm going to choose to believe that's the truth and not just flattery. Believe what you want. I'm not telling you a thing. You don't need to. He holds out his hand and I take it. He guides me through a spin as though we're on a ballroom floor. When he pulls me back, his hands find my waist. Touch his chest! I set my gloved hands on his chest. My palms resting on the fabric of his shirt, and my fingers resting on skin. I run my hands down, touching more firmly with my fingertips. Teasing the button, keeping even more skin from me. I bend down with the motion, turning my hips with a delicious string of notes. Then plucking the fabric, I withdraw my hands again. Tease. You've been having an interesting night, haven't you? Yeah, I have. Coming to a death cult party, getting powerful drugs from a beautiful stranger, after kissing them. Okay, so yeah, it is a different thing. Because I did it right this time. Imbibing hallucinogens from different strangers. I hope you're having fun. You were watching me then? I'm having more fun now. I'm having more fun now. I said it last time, but I said the other one last time, but I like this one. Now that I've successfully got the drug from the chick, so I should hope so. Now you're not working or enduring terrible hallucinations. And maybe the company also has something to do with it? Are you suggesting that you're enjoying yourself more now because you're spending time with me? Oh, this one's a way better choice. If I say that, you'll start to get full of yourself. Start? That hole has long since been dug. If you say that, I won't want to I won't want to pay you any more compliments. I think you'll find that impossible. You may not say anything to me directly, but spending time with me is the highest compliment you could give me. You think I'm worthy of that time? How could a man not find that flattering? It's impressive how he's managed to turn a playful threat to his ego into flirting and complimenting me. Damn this man. Well, there's definitely something keeping me here. Something? Sorry. Oleander adjusts his hold on my waist. I prepare myself to be drawn in, but nothing happens. Like the last time we danced. His hold is intimate, but it assumes only this intimacy and no more. His shifting hands are an invitation, but I'll have to be the one to step things up. Take the invitation! How could I resist such an offer? I get a firm hold of Oleander's clothes and pull myself in closer. His hold on me stays firm and reliable, keeping us together. We're dancing so close, my hips are almost touching him. What was the other choice? Keep things relaxed? No. We're gonna do that for that one. With each movement, we brush each other in new ways. I have never been more aware of the distance between my body and his. I feel hot and bright and alive outside my own head. Oleander bends down towards me. My stomach, ow. Our chests touch and he gets closer still. What is he? For a brief moment, I think he'll kiss me somehow, despite the both of us wearing masks, but instead he brings his head alongside mine. After a moment, I realize he's speaking softly to me. There's something serious I want to ask you. Your condition. What I have heard of fractum anima is that it is a fast-moving and fatal, sorry. My thoughts stop in their tracks. I would never have guessed that this was the thing on his mind. Yeah, it's gonna take me out soon, but no one gets out of living alive, right? One hand shifts from my waist, sliding slowly to the center of my back. My heart jumps at the new contact. This is a whole new level of mixed message. How long have you been dealing with this? I'm feeling warm. Oleander's hands do not wander. He does not presume more access to my body than I've allowed. But the touches are deliberate. I rest my forehead on his shoulder, the mask pressing firmly there. It's not the same as touching him, but it's as close as I can get. My words come out in hot, raspy breaths. Months. I've had this for months. Wish I knew how long I have left. Oh, I have to live. Sorry. His hands press flat on my back, covering as much of me as possible. He crushes me close. I'm not sure if this is a dance hold or just an embrace. Still, I find a handful of his coat and hold it tight in return. I'm sorry. I laugh, and the sound is strangled slightly by tears welling up in me. I didn't know I needed sympathy, someone who cared until this second. If I was well, I'd never have come down here and met you, so I guess there's a silver lining. If only I was worthy of that level of praise. Oleander's voice is raw when he speaks next. Months. We can only hope that you have many more months ahead of you, sorry. And then even more years after you get your lunar accord. I pull back very slightly and loop my arms around his neck. He responds with hands on my hips. This is hot as hell, I'm sorry. Like, what the fuck? The all-consuming beat of the music has us moving in time together without conscious thought. I made you an offer last time we danced as well, if you remember. This is a very large leap in conversation topic. I'll have you know. Low marks on grace and skill for this one. I'll accept the low marks this time, but only out of necessity. So you do recall what we spoke about. You offered me a good fuck, as long as I was okay accepting that as its own reward. You do recall then, so have you put any thought into it? I have no desire to pressure you, and delayed gratification is certainly something I appreciate. But, well, there's only so much sand in the hourglass for either of us. He said either, so... it's definitely an honor. Cause I feel like he could have found anybody else and been like, oh, if I'm about to die, I think I'm gonna go out, you know, feeling a little good before, you know? But it's like, what an honor that we are the person. So, yeah. We're gonna resave it since we successfully got the drug this time. Last time I said still considering it, right? Which meant like, oh, like what it says. It means just, oh yeah, I mean, I would consider it, but like not now, I guess. Then there's always not interested, and then there's also I'm very interested, and then there's I grab his butt. Yeah. So still considering was just it was just a cute conversation or whatever. Wasn't anything crazy. We just don't do anything. But I'm interested in what these two could possibly lead to. So we're gonna do the grabbing of the ass, I believe. Right? Or I believe I'm definitely gonna pick it. But we're gonna go for the ass grabbing. So excited. This is all new to me. I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh my gosh. I'm actually pretty excited. Let me calm down, I guess. I reach around and put a hand on his ass. That should send a very clear message. Feeling forward, are we? Yeah. Now, after all, after when I... Yeah. He shifts his hands up slowly. It makes his intentions clear, in case I'm not interested. But it's also an agonizing tease. So they don't ask him to move faster. That would in some way be losing. I love your mentality. He feels his way up my ribs and only stops when he's palming my chest. His hands are careful, but he's not treating me like I'm delicate. It's something, it's simply gentle. There's far too much fabric between me and him. You can go under all this. You should. Uh-oh. He takes his hand off. Yeah. He takes his hands off me. A subtle twist of his hip dislodges my hand too. In any other circumstance, I would. Unfortunately, this is about as much as I can do in this moment. No! 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 I have something else I need to do first. Then we can revisit the topic of me going under your clothes. And you going under mine. That matter? I wish I could cry. I'm grateful you've given my offer some thought at least. You know, it's not often that more than one person of interest is in the same interest, I'm sorry, just one is in the same place together, and today there are three. I don't know who the third person could possibly be. And I have access to them all. This is an irresistible chance. If I succeed here, I'll only have one task left on my checklist. You're definitely walking into a trap. Oh yeah, then I'll simply have to be more clever than them. His dancing is suddenly more intense. Where his hands touch me, I feel hot, and for a moment, I feel a stab of fear. But the moment of fear passes. We dance a little longer. There isn't much to say. Oleander sighs loudly, a performance of relief. I needed that, I think. Thank you. Oleander starts drifting back to the edge of the dance floor. And soon we've left the crowd. We're not really dancing anymore. A pleasure as always. You make it sound like you're leaving. It's time for me to attend to my business and get some good, old-fashioned trouble. Oh, get into some good old-fashioned trouble. It should only take me 20 minutes, half an hour at the most. You sound really casual about this. There's no point in getting you agitated by acting nervous. It's better for the both of us if I treat it as simply something I'm going to do. So, oh no. All will be well. After all, you've given me something worth looking forward to. He has no right to sound that salacious, given what he's about to do. Okay, 20 to 30 minutes. And what if you're not back by then? Then presumably the trouble was worth more than I thought. Oh, was worse than I thought. I don't know why I said all that. I'd ask you to go to my office and ensure the most private materials of mine are moved somewhere safer. He takes my hand in his, turning it so my palm faces up. His other hand comes to cover mine. I feel a key being pressed there. There. If I want to return to my parlor, I will have to find you first. Does that reassure you? Promise you'll come back. No matter what else happens, I want your word you'll take this key from me. You know full well that this is a promise I may not be able to keep. I don't care. I'll only be reassured if you promise me. My hand is still held between his. Does that matter that much to you? Genuinely. Obviously. Oh dear, you precious thing, you. He did not say that before. You fuck. He chuckles softly. Very well. He takes my hand and turns it over, then bends low until he's in a deep bow in front of me. The back of my hand isn't pressed to the mouth of his mask, but to the painted domino mask. I promise I will reclaim this key from you. I wish I had something worth swearing on. My name, my honor, my soul. But I don't. I only have my word for what value it has. He rises. I will be back. He lets go of my hand. I forgot what he says when I did it before. I think he continued to like not promise it, I believe. I think, cause yeah, that was nice. It may help to pass the time while I'm away. That group there are also traders of a sort. And they are welcoming, they're a welcoming little group. Yeah. Feel free to talk to them. I'll see you soon. You better. I stay put as Oleander walks away. I watch him go down a hallway, away from the main dance hall. At least there are people to talk to. There's no clock that I can see anywhere, but I can probably just trust my gut on how long 20 minutes will be. I make my way to the merchants. As benefits a party like this, some are truly embracing the spirit of the day. They're standing in a loose circle, and I slot in easily. After a moment, one of them turns my way. Hello, who might you be? I'm Vigil. I saw your little group, and I was curious to hear what you're talking about. You're the new Vigil. Snake was talking about you. Only good things, I hope? I've not heard a lot. Not reassuring. Well, as I was saying, there's word about an incoming apothecary. I genuinely tried my best to listen and contribute where I can, but my mind is definitely not in the moment. I'm counting seconds in my head, keeping track of how many minutes have passed on my fingers. Heard word that rat catchers are finally getting some hints. The euphemisms are thick enough that at some points I'm genuinely uncertain what the group is actually speaking about. If you have tickets, it's a can't-miss opportunity. And while these are strangers at a party, known for its devotion to pleasure above all else, a lot of what they're talking about is not really of interest to me at the moment. And then there's talk about Lady Lumina selling things to pay down some debts. Eventually they decide they're interested in me. So, Vigil, is Oleander like that all the time? Like what? You know what I mean. If you mean he's always on a charm offensive and is determined to run a dazzling show, yes. Even when it's just the two of us. I told you that's what he's like. No, I've heard stories about him from others, and they said he was a huge asshole. Why not both? It's possible to be very charismatic and also a jerk at the same time. They're right. I would be the one to know. We talk a little longer, and then I reach 22 on my fingers. No sign of Oleander. I'm too anxious to just stand here. Sorry to have to leave so soon, but I have something to take care of. They acknowledge me leaving, then immediately resume gossiping amongst themselves. I wave to them as I leave. He went this way. Carefully, I make my way toward the hallway Oleander took. There's a very good chance Oleander is in trouble, which means I need to be extremely careful. I try and drift with music. Let myself flow in the tide of people. The glances I make down the hallways are just idle glances. I'm not searching for anything in particular. I've never been so glad my face is covered. There are revelers engaging in all kinds of debauchery at the mouth of the hallway. But the presence of an armed guard near a staircase seems to have kept them mostly away from the more private space. That's where he'll be. Oh, that's where he is. How do I get in there? I have an easy excuse, of course. An attendee of this bacchanalia being sober would be far stranger than some random inebriated fool wandering over. Now, how to pry the guard from their post? Presumably, a guard employed at a party such as this is either naturally resistant to the temptations around them, or they're being paid and threatened to act that way. I don't have time. I'll have to make things up as I go. I need to get moving to ensure Oleander's alright. I breathe deeply and exhale slowly, trying to force all the tension in my body out. I need to look loose and carefree if I'm going to pull off a deception like this. I can do this. I let my arms fall heavily at my side. Let myself get jostled by the crowd. I'm drunk and clueless. Enter the hallway and pass a dozen people in all sorts of formations. One reaches out and paws at my hood as I pass by. Come on. There's a loud moan. There's panting, there's murmurs and whispers, and then a high, keening voice squeals. I let my gaze linger on a bear for a moment, then glance over and see a solo reveler pleasuring themselves at the same sight. To the same side, sorry. My face is so hot under my mask, but the not quite an orgy does keep their distance from the guard at the bottom of the stairs, and so there is no one within reach to touch me as I stumble closer. Back off. Just looking for a pal of mine. He likes being high, so upstairs makes sense, right? The guard stares me down, a hand on the hilt of some kind of weapon. I don't dare turn my face down to see what kind of weapon. No guess beyond this point. I'm not a guest, I'm a +1, totally different. I try and summon the slightly vacant, witless tone of wisdom. I can't wait for my pal here, right? Oh, sorry. I can wait for my pal here, I swear. I take a step back, giving the guard space, and flop against a wall. This isn't... The guard huffs. It's fine, I can wait. The guard seems to be resigned to my presence. They can't come close enough to shoo me away. Shoot me without leaving space for someone to sneak in. And my act seems to have convinced them that I'm too stupid to be of any real danger. Time for a charm offensive. It's odd how calm I feel about this step of my plan. Regardless of anything else, I know I can talk. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about sneezing. I did the cats last time, but I feel like this part doesn't really matter. We're gonna talk about sneezing. The next one is the one that matters. It's nice being over here and not on the dance floor. So much smoke and dust makes me need to sneeze. I hate sneezing in this mask. Only good thing about it is that it keeps some of the dust away. There's so much dust. So much dust. So I sneeze anyways. It's so gross. How do you sneeze in your mask? It's anonymous and covers the full face. Possibly some kind of uniform. Are you done? How do you sneeze? It feels supremely foolish, but it seems to work. I try not to. You get used to it. I'm trying, but I'm not sure. The guard looks less concerned than before. I guess because I'm coming across as a fool, interested in inane things. But I don't really need a random guard to approve of me. You know, there's trees in the mountain, but there's so many trees on the mountain. Have you seen the outside of the mountain? Seen it. Okay, they're playing along with the inane chatter now. That's good. Sometimes people haven't been out there, and it's the saddest thing. The marketplace is great, but it's not the only great thing, you know? The sun's kind of a lot, but the stars... I wiggle my fingers to illustrate the stars. Where was I? Trees. It's weird, because there's tree roots in the mountain, so there's trees in the mountain, too. But no full trees, just the roots. Why not full trees? The sun. I think only part of the tree needs dark, and the other part needs light. That sounds... I get it. You need a balance of light and dark. Are you one of those people who thinks the solar lunar gods are equal? Cause your tree theory sounds like a Brian hearsay. How did I get myself in a situation like this? Pretending to be drunk and rambling about made-up hearsays. Hearsays? Yeah. What are you talking about? The trees. The trees are everything, aren't they? They mean everything to everyone. So why are there no trees underground? Well, I have the guard off balance. That counts for something. Punch them! You may think it's the wrong choice, but it actually is the right choice. I did charm, and he slammed me against a wall. I thought we were gonna do something freaky, but then he just killed me. Oh, well, no, I didn't die. He just tied me up, and then I wasn't able to save Oleander. Oh, yeah. Bad ending. Don't try to get freaky with a guard. I have a flash of inspiration. This is a bacchanalia. Violence is to be expected. It might even be celebrated. Well, there's a gang of revelers nearby, mostly focused on sex right now. I pull back my hand and punch the guard in the nose as hard as I can. I practically roar through the shock in my hand while the guard screams in pain. You and me, now! I keep shouting as I go in for another hit. The guard has to catch their balance, which is enough for me to barrel into them and throw them into the wall behind them. The guard lashes out at me in turn. They skim past the side of my head, then they grab their baton in their other hand and bring it down to on my collar. It hurts badly. I shout in pain this time. No time to look and see if the almost orgy is going to participate. I have their attention now. But nothing breaks, it's just pain. I throw myself at the guard again. A massive impact from the side catches us both, knocking us to the ground. I can't believe the plan worked. One of the revelers is grappling with the guard, while I'm left on the floor beside them. I scramble to my feet. I only have a few seconds before a whole host of partially clothed partiers come to join the action. I leap up the stairs, taking them two at a time, just to get up them faster. At the top, I see several doors. Only one of them is closed. I hear someone else running up, pursuing me. Shit. In one lunge, I grasp the door handle. I throw my weight on it and pull it open, and half throw myself inside. This is the part, y'all. It's so good. I met with a terrible sight. We're effectively in a theater box, looking down at the dancers. Presumably, this is meant for folks looking for semi-privacy, or perhaps exhibitionists. Instead of anything like that, I see 3 people standing around Oleander, unmasked, bleeding, bound. Shock. The venom in his stare is horrifying. The circumstances that created that venom are worse. Despite his unbroken expression, he is in a bad way. I only have a second to take in everything and decide what to do. I plunge my hand into my bag and find the glass bottle of aphrodisiac fog, as I mentioned before. Deep breath. I fling the bottle at one of Oleander's captors, who lets him go to protect himself from the glass. By the time the glass breaks, I'm already crossing the box to Oleander. The room fills with rose-scented smoke, so thick I can't see my own feet. I duck down and reach out, finding Oleander's chest under my hand. The other hands on him give me all the information I need to know to shove them away. My body an effective battering ram. There's so much shouting and flailing, but I have the advantage of surprise, and I press it for all I'm worth. Oleander's certainly caught up with me and my thoughts too. Despite his restraints, he throws his weight into one of his captor's legs, throwing them back. I lean around and find the bindings holding his hands. I chance pulling on the end of the knot, and it comes undone. The moment his hands are free, Oleander scoops up something at his feet, and we rise. Guys, a face reveal is crazy. Like, I can't. If the space was any larger, I might have gotten lost, but our escape from the box is as simple as retreating backwards. Yo, this is amazing. Once out, I have 1 second to see Oleander's injuries. He's in a bad way. Don't stop for me, we need to get out. Delicious. He puts on his mask. He must have picked it up in the chaos. I get an arm around him for support. And we rush down the stairs. Oleander's stiff and awkward. I don't know exactly what kind of injuries he's dealing with, but he's fighting through them. The fight I started is still going strong. I put myself between the crowd and Oleander. All this for me. I tighten my hold on him and muscle through the fight. The blows I take are glancing and incidental. I'm no longer of interest to anyone here. Anyone who gets too close, I can shove away with my elbows. Then we flee into the crowd of dancers. The aphrodisiac fog pours from the balcony like a waterfall, pushing into the dance floor as we push our way between the dancers. I feel endless hands reaching out, stroking whatever they can reach. I have tunnel vision, seeing only the route out of the hall and onto the market. Once we're on the market streets and away from the building, I risk a pause. We dip into an alleyway out of immediate sight of anyone. Sorry. Oleander leans heavily on a wall while I pace.
Well, young trip.
God, he's so like it. He's very like pretty in the face, but it's like a pretty type of handsome, and his eyes are so blue. It's just, oh my god. Oh geez. His breathing is so labored that he even removes his mask again. Where do we go? Your parlor isn't safe. Is Leaping Bear a safe place? Anyone could have followed me there, and I'd never know. But the rooms are protected. Mouse hole isn't an option unless we magically find Griff right now. Oleander seems to try to chuckle, but it comes out as a painful groan. Take a breath. We need to get out of here, though. Like, this is like really serious. I don't care how pretty you are right now. I know, and I trust you'll find somewhere for us, but I need to tell you something. Okay? What is it? Oh my god. I come close. He runs a hand over my hood, cupping my cheek through it. I was made to drink something just before you came to my rescue. Laudanum? Laudanum? I believe, but it was mixed with something else. So fucking pretty. I was thinking some of them were gonna be like bled under the mask, but I have high hopes now. This nigga, I wanna punch him. It's that serious. Like, he's that pretty. I wanna hit him. Like, you make me mad. Never mind. No, let's just continue. I have my tolerances, but they were determined to bring me down. And unfortunately, I don't have the energy to stay conscious anymore. He tries a weak laugh, but it fades. I'm in your hands. That side eye is crazy. Like, stop it. And then he slumps, sliding down the wall unconscious. Chapter end. Now it's your turn, Pookie Bear. To be continued. That was amazing. If I press stop recording on this and it doesn't like register, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. That was amazing. Like, even the second time, it's still really good. I love it. A face reveal for Oleander of all people? That's crazy. He's not the only one with like a full face covering, but that's super cool. I wonder what was going on in there. Like, he clearly failed his task. I passed mine though. No worries. No worries. Thank you for playing Obscura. Very excited for Francisco's route. For sure. Anyways, let's go see our reward. Yeah, they didn't add any new achievements or anything, so. But they did update the whole ending thing. So yeah, I got the charmless ending with the guard. Charming him wasn't enough, so I ended up being tied up and I was not let go. So Oleander probably died. But yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more I have to get. Oh, that one was called Consequence, okay. That's nice. Let's look at our pictures. Sorry. It's just really cool. Oh god. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I very much look forward to Francisco's Chapter 2. Considering his first chapter was actually pretty good. There was already that, you know, tension. He's a like a little risk taker. He wants to take risks right now. I'm willing as well. Like, no joke. But if you guys enjoyed it, and that face reveal too, no mean things in the comments talking about he's actually ugly. You're gonna hurt my feelings if you say that. But yeah, if you enjoyed it as much as I did, I got to enjoy it 2 times. Look at that, lucky me. A like would be very much appreciated, and of course, subscribe for more. Francisco's next. And I'm on top of it. I get notified. I get emails and stuff. Yeah, with all of that being said, I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, my loves. And yes, I will be playing You Kill Me every time. Like, come on, seriously? That's not even, why even ask? Of course I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna buy it immediately, in fact.